This is Chassis. Who?
Danny Brody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 100%. Anikan Hakolkan. Beseder Gomer. Rabbi say, let's go over something that we started in previous years, but Baruch Hashem this year a new Chiddush came out. Let's see. So again, we're speaking about the Rashi in Bax Aleph that speaks about how come HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Am Yisrael these two mitzvahs to perform on this night. Let's give a look what it's about. Umipnima higdim likichosoi leshchitosoi arba'a yomim. Why in Pesach Mitzrayim the taking of the behema and buying it was 4 days before the offering of the korban itself? Haya Rab Masya ben Choresh Omer, Hareyu Omer, ve'evor alayich ve'erech v'inei itech et dudim. A pasuk in Yecheskel. Higia shvua shenishbati la'Avram she'egal ezbanav. The shvua that I promised Abraham to redeem his children, the time has arrived. V'lo hayu biyadam mitzvah sisasik b'hem k'dei she'igolu. Meaning, even though there's a shvua, but there has to be something on the bottom which triggers it. Okay? Yes, the shvua to Abraham has been made, but there has to be also something here that will trigger that shvua. And they didn't have any mitzvahs in their credit. We'll see soon what these two words mean. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu in return gave Am Yisrael two mitzvahs. Shemalu b'oiso halayla. They were circumcised on that night. Shene'emar b'tbosesed b'damayich b'shnei damim. B'damayich is plural. It means shnei damim. Right? How did Rashi answer this question? So why do you have to start 4 days in advance? What's the answer? They were in a lack of mitzvahs. They needed mitzvahs, and so therefore, how does that explain how can you start 4 days in advance? What? I guess that's all included in the Dam Pesach. It's a achona for Korban Pesach. But still, why do you need 4 days in advance? Did Rashi answer his question? Right? Huh? Yeah, I don't have this question on the sheet. That's another question. How come it's on the sheet?
Can I ask another question, which I'm sure, why is Rashi Meshana doesn't bring the pasuk that we have in Haggadah Shul Pesach? We don't have the Ma'achai, because if you look at the Lashon we have when we bring it on the Haggadah, it's not quite the same Lashon that we have.
So let's look at the pasuk. We'll see who's quoting the pasuk right. It's a pasuk in the Cheskel.
It's one's a pasuk. I looked at once in Cheskel. That's 2 weeks later.
The what? It says Ma'ach.
Yeah,
So maybe Rashi brings the first time. That makes sense.
So forget. So why is the Haggadah?
No, the Haggadah does not bring out this point. The Haggadah wants to bring out the Duman Chayi. They both speak about different angles. Right? Different Nekudas. But Rabbi says, so maybe Rashi wants to say that by being engaged with the Korban Pesach 4 days in advance, right? So that makes our Hakrav of Korban Pesach more meaningful. But let's see if we're going to have an answer throughout the night on this question. Okay? So let's put this question, meanwhile, on the back burner, and let's meanwhile go on. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us two mitzvahs to be engaged with, Dam Pesach and Dam Milah. What's unique about these two mitzvahs? Meaning, and they're both blood. I wonder what does that mean? But if you just need mitzvahs, so any mitzvah gives tzedakah to each other. As I'm looking for chorus? If you need mitzvah, so any mitzvah, help an old lady cross the street. But he doesn't mention that. He says mitzvahs. He doesn't we need bris. He says we need mitzvahs. What does it say? What were we lacking? V'lo hayu biyadam mitzvahs lisasek b'hem. So give him a mitzvah to be misasek. Why dafka these two? What? Oh, so that's the moral that Ari knows very well. Let's give it a backspet. Dam Pesach v'dam Mila. Dafka elu shnei domim nosna kodesh bochu likot Yisrael b'hem. We're in backspet. Ki mitchila hayu Yisrael avodim leparo. Initially we were servants of Paro. Ubishvila Mila hayu avodim lakodesh bochu. The Mila makes the switch. Shari mefarshim ta Mila. It's the Sforno. It's also a little bit of Mashmos in the Moreh Nevuchim. That the reason of Mila is because shu ois ba'adam shu rashum liot eved lakodesh baruch. The Mila is a seal that you're an eved. An eved has a seal on him. Shekol eved tzarich sheyeh lo choisem abdus. If you ever watched the Roots of Alex Haley 50 years ago, so there's a process of mamash choisem abdus, and it's a Mishnah here. Ein eved yoytze b'chosem shlo b'Shabbos. Ein hasam. V'zeu she'anu oimrim v'abrisra shechasamta b'b'sareinu. So what is he proving from the lashon of the Birkas Hamazon? It's a chasima. It's a choisem. It's called the choisem. He wants to prove the word chasima. A choisem means what? A seal. A seal. Good. So meaning ubimila lechud lo sagi ki ha'eved tzor sheyeh oived. V'imeno oived en kan avdus. Meaning, says the Maharal, these two mitzvahs are not a random of two mitzvahs. They are the core of Jewish identity. In what way? The Mila is a sign we belong to Hashem. We are avadim. We are His servants. But you got to serve. You got to do something. Just saying that you're an Eved without being Oved doesn't sound real. Comes Korban Pesach, and that's the first avoida that we did. And the Raz is alluding to the fact that the Torah calls it avoida, Korban Pesach, the only mitzvah in the Torah which is called avoida in its own merit. V'cholo.
Why do you need two? One's not enough.
No, because you have to need an Eved, Oved. You need a...
One mitzvah is not enough.
No, because one mitzvah is Eved, one mitzvah is Oved. But you need both.
Why?
Because again, you need Mila makes you an Eved of Hashem, but it's not a service to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're not offering anything. That you need a Korban Pesach. That's called avoida. But if you'll just do avoida without an Eved, you're not committed. It will be often touch go relationship. Now I'm in the mood. I'm doing it. Tomorrow I'm not in the mood. I won't do it. The combination of Eved Oved is the full identity of Am Yisrael. And therefore, it's these two mitzvahs which seal the deal. Mila is Eved, Korban Pesach is Avoida, and together, being an Eved without an Avoida, unfortunately, it's very common today that people can tell you, I'm very proud to be a Jew. Oh, wonderful. What do you do? Nothing. Do you keep Shabbos? No. Kashrus? No. Do you put on food? No. So what are you proud of? I'm proud of being a Jew. How does it manifest itself? Nothing. So it is something nevertheless, but it's like, do something. It gets her, Eved Oved means being and doing. That's what Eved Oved means.
The Tzibur of Mila was Chol Ori Lo Yichal Bo? Is that the actual words where they were told?
No, by Avram Avinu we're told to Mila.
No, here by.
No. It's not mentioned in the Torah at all. We're going to speak about it.
What's Chol Ori Lo Yichal Bo?
It's a din halacha that you're not allowed to be an oral when you come to Pesach.
That's not the Tzibur.
No. Beseder. Okay, so this is what the Maharal says. Again, and it's mentioned before by Baruch, these two, Mila and Pesach, are a chavrusa in another place. Only them. That there's a chiyuv chorus. By not doing it. A chiyuv chorus, I'm sorry? Although it's not say. The Mishnah that you have it here in Bax Gimel. Look at the Mishnah says in Bax Gimel. Shloishim v'shesh krisus b'Torah, haba la'em v'al eshes av. You know, these are prohibitions. V'hamefatim b'sektoris, v'asach b'shem ha'mishcha, ha'pesach v'hamila b'mitzvahs eseh. Says Rashi, ha'pesach v'mitzvahs eseh v'yesh b'chorus, aval inach kulu, all the other 34, kulu mitzvahs loisan. Meaning that out of the 36 cases that exist, 34 are don't do it. Don't eat chametz on Pesach. Don't eat on Yom Kippur. Don't eat chalev. Don't eat dam. And a person transgressed and did it, he's chayav koros. There's two that there's a chayav koros by not doing anything. By just going to sleep. How do you understand that, guys? A chayav koros on lav she'em b'maaseh? How do you understand that? He didn't do anything. He was passive. Passive and he gets a chayav koros? What's up, Sean, that?
Because you have to do it to show your religion. Again, the cultural Jew versus the religious Jew. The religious Jew
But again, why is it chayav koros? I understand he should do it.
That was the first bris.
No, the word bris is not mentioned once.
In economic, I'm saying it was the first kesher between Kodesh Baruch and all.
It's okay, so he's not having a kasher. He does his koros. What does it mean that there's a chayav koros in Shev al Taisa? What does that mean? It means, let's speak like Yeshiva Bachim for a second. It's not the chomer of the Avera. You did a terrible sin. You didn't do anything. And it's Yadua, Lav She'em B'Maaseh, there's no malchus on it. If there's no malchus, there'll be karas. But here there is. What's up, Shad? Because here the point is, it's not the Avera Shabbadomer. It's just, you didn't sign up. And if you don't sign up, you're left outside. These are two mitzvahs that you sign up as a yid. If you didn't sign up, what happens? Okay, you didn't join. So you're left behind. That's what the chiyuv kares here. It's not the avera shabai. Oh. I thought there was a sim tonight, Richard.
Next week.
Ah. Okay. You hear what I say? It's not the chomesh ba'avera. If you didn't do anything, it's not called chomesh ba'avera. But you didn't join where you're supposed to join.
Only Pesach Mitzrayim.
No, every year you go through it again and again. That's always what Yom Tov are about.
It's called signing up, even.
Every year.
Even after the Chum.
Absolutely. There's a lot of rights to that.
Even after the Chum, when there's no more Pesach.
Okay, so what can we do? We're honest. We would love to bring it, but we're honest. Manasa. But if you could have signed up and you didn't sign up, so again, the lumdus here is not that you did a severe avera. You didn't do anything. How severe could be not doing? But you didn't join. And these are the two that if you don't join, you're just pushing left out. The shul's going to Morocco. You didn't sign up, so you're not going. That is a punishment. You just didn't sign up. If you didn't sign up, you're left behind. What?
There is a punishment.
So of course there's a chiyuv koros. But koros means disconnected, cut off. He's cut off because he didn't sign in. Not because he did a terrible sin. He just didn't renew his membership. And when you don't renew a membership, you're just left out. That's what it means. That's what happens in these two. Fine. Okay, let me say.
Just one second. Why going to Harabayas?
What?
Why is going to Harabayas?
Because it's a Thomas and Nicholas, the Kodesh Kedoshim. We're on called Tmeim today.
Is that the Kedoshim anywhere else?
I don't know. Nice topic. And okay, good. Okay, what we say. Now that you say one mitzvah is the doing and one mitzvah is the being. When Rashi said at arom, the pasuk said at arom va'araya. What do these two words mean? Arom va'araya. Arom means without clothes. And what does araya mean? Give a look at what I say. Look at number 7.
Before you go to number 7, from number 5.
Yeah.
Where I had wrong with Goram Hated, Kishtem Zelu Hein Ha.
Zehut Yehudit.
Zehut.
Yeah, Zehut, identity.
Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, it wasn't identity.
Identity.
Okay.
Yeah. The word zeh. This is it. Okay? Rabbi, look at number 7. Erya mashma megule umuvuzeh be'etzem. Disgraced. Right? נמצא ארון ואריה הם כנגד עובד ועבד, meaning being with the orla, as we're going to see later on, is a disgrace. That's Erya. Being without clothes is Aron. So the bris milah is removing the orla, and the korban pesach is the first cup of tea that we offer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right? It's really corresponding to these two. Fine. Now here, Rabbi, comes something Chava, it's a little bit lumdus of yeshivish alumnus, but I promise you could dance in the streets. Mamas. This just shows how our Torah is one. There's a halacha in the Gemara. And let's give a look. There's a pasuk, as you see in Baksvav, Shmois Peragid Beis. What does it say? Vayomer Hashem el Moshe ba'Aaron, Zo yischukas ha'Pesach, kol ben echal lo yachal bo. And look what it says in pasuk Memdalet. V'chol eved ish miknat kesef v'malto oto, as yochal bo. How would you translate this word into English? This pasuk into English. Kol eved ish. What does that mean?
Every seventh man.
Every eved ish. What does eved ish mean? No, that's not called eved ish. That's called ish eved. A eved of a man, right? A eved of a man should eat korban pesach. Meaning, if it's an eved of a woman, then they're not. Since when does the status of the eved korban pesach depend on the gender of the master? Does it really make a difference if the master is a male or a female? Look what it says in Gwen Gittin in Bak Zayin. Omar Shmuel, Hamafkir Abdo Yotza Lecherus. What does that mean? What does it mean, Mafkir Abdo? What did he do? He made his Eved Knani Hefker. What does that mean? There's no monetary obligations anymore. He cannot tell his Eved now what to do. He doesn't owe him anymore monetarily. So it's okay, that's enough, or you still need to get shechva to allow him to get married to a Jewish woman. So what does Shmuel say? Amafkir abdo yotza lecherus mishtabed lerabo od. His Rebbe cannot tell him what to do anymore. Ve'eino tzorich get shechol. He doesn't need a get shechol. Says Rashi latiro b'bas Yisrael. He doesn't need anything anymore. Shenamar, he learns it from a pasuk. This week's parsha. Chol eved ish miknas kesef. Eved ish, v'lo eved isha? Does the pasuk mean really that? A slave of a male and not a slave of a female? It doesn't make sense. That should make a difference. Ella, you know what the word ish here means? Authority. Eved sheyesh lo reshut l'rabo alav, a eved that he has an authority over him, karui eved. She'ein lo reshut l'rabo alav, if his Rebbe cannot tell him what to do, ein no karui eved. Meaning, what's Shmuel learning from this pasuk? If the owner cannot tell him what to do anymore, and cannot tell him, wash the floor, go do this, go do that, he can't anymore. He's not called the Eved anymore. And therefore, he doesn't need anymore a get shechur. Because the mafkir avdo, what did that cause legally? That the owner doesn't own him anymore monetarily wise. So therefore, the owner cannot tell him what to do. An owner that cannot tell you what to do, that means the Eved is on his own. That's not called an Eved anymore. Because he learns from our pasuk, Eved Ish, not a Eved of a man, to exclude a woman, but rather Eved Ish means an Eved of authority. An Eved is that he has someone that he has to report to. But if there's no one that he has to report to, he doesn't have Ish, someone above him, he's not called an Eved. And therefore he's free. Why is he learning it from Korban Pesach? This is a concept in all Dinei Avdus. An Eved that doesn't have an owner above him telling him what to do, and this Eved doesn't have anybody who to report to, so fine, he's not called Eved. But it's a pasuk of Korban Pesach that teaches you this concept. Can anybody tell me why, according to this Maral, why it's super duper gishmak?
The whole in the competitor was Eved absent.
There weren't ever them anymore.
What, if Korban Pesach would have a mouth to speak, what would it say? Why am I added to the Milah? How come Milah is not enough? Because it's not enough just to be an Eved by name. You have to be that you do something. Meaning Eved just by title is not enough. It has to be Lamaisa. That's what Korban Pesach says. The Maral explains how come Korban Pesach was added to Milah. Milah just said, I'm sorry? You have to do something. Meaning, Korban Pesach authority will be the next stage. Korban Pesach is saying, being an Eved only by title is garnished. Milah gives you a title of Eved. That's not enough. You have to be also an Oved. So Korban Pesach is saying that it has to be not just a title. Hamafkir Avdo Yotze Lecherus is only an Eved by title anymore, because the other can tell him what to do. Where does it say? Who taught you that an Adon who's just an Eved but not an Oived is not called an Eved? Korban Pesach. Isn't it appropriate that that's the pasuk that Shmuel learns is different? You see the Torah Hashem Tmima. It's all one. Halacha, Agarata, Maral, Machshava, Musar, Kabbalah. It's all one. They all come from one creator. The din of Shmuel, which it's spitz lumdus, halacha, that an Eved, a mafkir av the Yotzan Acherus, he learns it from a pasuk in Korban Pesach. The kach na'eh, the kach ya'eh. Because Korban Pesach is saying that being an Eved only by title, bris, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. You have to be an Eved, but also an Oved. And a Mafkir Avdo is only an Eved by title, not by Oved. Because the owner can't tell him anything. Geschmack, no? Jewish? What do you say, guys? Isn't this Jewish to the core? I'm serious. When I noticed this, Mama started to dance. This is the source of a Mafki Avdo. Richard, I'm telling you, this is like a Siyum times 10. I'm telling you, times 10. Okay, but since I see everybody's really getting excited about it, okay, so we'll go on. It's so gewaltig, according to the Maharal, why that is the source. Korban Pesach tells you, an Eved that doesn't, not an Oved, is garnished. And a Mafkir Avdo is an Eved, but not an Oved. The owner can't tell him anything what to do. Look what Rashi said. Milishtabed leRabbi Oid. He can't, the Rebbe can't tell him anything. He's not an Oved anymore. He's an Eved only. Very good. Okay, I'll say. So after we all danced on this board, here comes the question. What do you mean? Question number one. According to the Ral, the Korban Pesach and Mila are two that make a unit. They complement each other. One without the other is a half a job. Again, just Mila, what is that called? If it's only Mila, only Eved. Only Eved. If you just do Korban Pesach, what is it only? Oved. The two together, Eved, Oved, that's what it takes. Why did the Torah mention that they did a bris milah that night?
Why didn't they mention it?
The Torah did not mention it. It's learned from a diuk in the pasuk in Yechezkel. But the maich, plural. Why didn't you mention the Korban Pesach is mentioned in length? There's about like 10 psukim about Korban Pesach, right? But the milah is not mentioned even once.
Because you said it was already given to Abraham.
But yeah, but they didn't do it. Look, Rashi. Look at the Rashi.
You don't need to miss it twice in the Torah.
Look at the. I'm not asking, but that they did it that night, not that the chiyuv happened that night. The chiyuv happened by Abraham. But look what Rashi said. Look at the Rashi. You don't have any mitzvahs, and what did he do? Nosan lahem shtei mitzvahs. The last line in Box Aleph. Nosan lahem shtei mitzvahs. Dam Pesach v'dam Milah. How can the Torah mention only one, not the other? So without the Maharal, it's not such a kasha. The Torah doesn't report everything. Right? But with the Maharal, then it's one without the other. They intertwine with each other. How can the Torah mention only one? Do you know that a lot of people are not even aware that the Jewish people did a bris milah that night? Try it on the Lila Center. Try it out on this Friday night. Ask the people around the table, what did the Jewish people do on the night they came out of Mitzrayim? Very few will be able to tell you they did a bris milah.
So he came out in the morning. He didn't come out.
No, but what they did that night, though. And then it came out the next morning. True. But what did they do that night? Everybody will tell you Korban Pesach. By the way, they did a bris milah also. Really? How do you know? Well, the pasuk in Yechezkel, Rashi brings it. I wasn't aware of it.
They were fit enough to travel.
What?
They were fit enough to travel the next day.
Oh, it's a nest in itself. It's a nest in itself. They did a bris milah. How would they cure it so quickly? A good kasha. But what's some shot that the Torah mentions one without the other? Secondly, what's some shot they did a bris milah at night? You're not allowed to do a bris milah at night. Even a milah of gerus. The Gemara says in Yavamis you can't do it at night. And Rashi says, look, what's the words of Rashi again in Box Aleph? Shemalu ba'oiso halayla. They circumcised on that night. You could do a bris milah at night? What's the shot? So Mepharshim Rashi ask it. Some say it doesn't mean Mamish night. It was right before night. It's Ben Hashmoshes before. You know, those kind of tirutzim. But the Pshuta Shemikra is, they say that night doesn't have a din of night. Le'et erev yihi or. And then they're going to say that. But the bother by, how could you do a bris milah at night? So here we have two kashas on this bris milah.
And the time they did it till they got to Yeshua.
Right?
The whole 40 years they did
Yeah, nachon? Yeah, nachon? Ruach Tzvainis. Nachon? Anyway, so Bakol Parim,
They did it the night before they went out?
that's what Rashi says. Give a look at Bex Aleph.
The night before they left?
The night of Korban Pesach. Yeah, right. Their last night of Mitzrayim.
Why did Moshe get punished so badly then for not knowing?
What happened to Moshe?
With time when he got
With what?
When he got to the bris milah,
That's another whole sugya. That's another sugya, 100%. There's a minchas chinuch on it, the whole thing. It still doesn't make sense. Since when do you kill someone about a bris milah? It's a baby. You didn't do it in the 8 days. Already have karas. All that and more. Next year in Pasha Shmoysim, it's Hashem. Be'ezer Hashem, we'll all be in Yerushalayim, B'Shat Tov v'Mutzachas. So we have two major questions here on what happened on that on Bris Milah that night. A, how come the Torah mention it? It's a remez in Yecheskel. B, how did they do a milah at night? So everybody say, Yesh bo mashu be'emet gevaldik. Be'emes. Let's get into it, Chabad. There's mashu be'emet gevaldik. And another point also what Yosef say, Yosef, is, you know what, we always thought that, again, Bnei Yisrael, how they come out like an army, al Tzivasam. They came out of Egypt. They were probably all limping. Could you help me, please? And getting his wife to help him. He did a bris milah a few hours ago. What, there was a special miracle that they all got cured? Fine, does it say that anywhere? They had a bris milah a few hours ago. They were adults, not 8 days old. How did they work the next day? No hakasha. Mamas no hakasha. So Rabbi say, let's go into something here, which is really mod geshmak. How to figure out how come the Torah didn't mention the milah if it plays such a major role, and how could you do a milah at night? Okay?
Rashi on the bris.
What?
Rashi on bris choyin serves as a bracha. Isn't Rashi mashma that the only lady did the bris milah, nobody else? The bris choyin serves bris milah she'osim shenol b'midosh Yisrael domas b'neim v'heim hoyin mulin v'manim es b'neihem.
In the midbar. It's speaking about the midbar.
Yeah, but v'heim hoyin mulin, the one not rest of the Yisrael.
I don't know. Again, Rashi says my they all did it. You have a shtickle diuk from there. I don't know. But it's Rashi speaking about the midbar. But I hear. Okay. Let's give a look at Rabbi say in the Rashi that we learned together in the Akedah. Achar advarim ha'elu va'elokim nisas Abram. What does the Torah say? After these words or these events, the Akedah happened. The Akedah was triggered by something that happened before. What was it? Says Rashi in the second shot, we're seeing only the second shot. Yesh merabbeseinu omim achal dvar sheYishmael, as a result of what Yishmael told Yitzchak. Shaya mitpaer al Yitzchak. How would you translate the word in English? Mitpaer. For the word paer.
Beauty.
What?
Is it pair of beauty?
No, not beauty. Gaiva. It's an expression of gaiva. Hitpaer alai. Okay.
Tefillin, we say pair with tefillin. Isn't that beautiful?
It's not beauty. It's not beauty. Okay. Yes, pair. Shemal ben Gimel Shana v'lo Micha.
Boasting. I think it's boasting.
Boasting. I think that's a good translation. Boasting. Shaya mitpaer al Yitzchak shemal ben Gimel Shana v'lo Micha. Yishmael told Yitzchak, hey, my bris milah is much more significant than yours. I did it when I was 13. I could have said no. You did it 8 days old. You could have said no. Amar lo Yitzchak. So Yitzchak replied, Be'ever echad ata meyareni? You're trying to scare me with one limb? Ilo amar li HaKadosh Baruch Hu zvach atzmacha lefanai. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu would have told me to offer my whole self, lo haiti ma'akev. I wouldn't have held back. Rabbi say, tell me, did Yitzchak answer or not answer Yishmael's question?
No.
Right? Yishmael is saying, my bris milah is much more significant than yours. I do it when I'm 13, I have free will to say no, and yet I say yes. You, no one asked you, Abchal. You had no say on the matter. You were 8 days old. Yitzchak says, yeah, but I'm willing to do an Akedah. How's that answer? If I would have been Yishmael, I would have told Yitzchak, I'm talking about Milah. Who's talking about the Akedah? And this conversation triggered the Akedah. That's what Chazal, according to Rashi. What does this conversation have to do with Akedah? Oh, because he said, you scare me with one limb, I'm willing to offer my whole self? How does that have to do with Milah? And no, Baruch Hashem Abai said that Am Yisrael are doing Milah for the last 3,300 years that we didn't do Akedas. What are we going to answer to Yishmael? Us in this room. What are we going to answer? Our Zaidi did an Akedah? What's the Masa Matan here? Yishmael says, my bris milah is more chashav. Yitzchak says, you want to impress me with one limb? I'm willing to offer my whole self. I'll do the Akedah. But my bris milah is still more significant. Yeah, but I'm willing to do the Akedah. What's going on here? What's the Masa Matan? So boy said, there's something here gewaldig. We know about Yitzchak that what does he represent? Gvura. And what does he represent in simple English? What? He's an Oila Tmima. What? Din. What does all this mean? He totally is mevatel himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what it means. He totally nullifies himself to Ratzon Hashem. He's batlus. That's called Yira, that's Din, that's Gvura, it's all one. Yitzchak was the first one that was circumcised at the age of 8 days. Yitzchak was the first one. Okay. So everybody said, let's go over a Midrash Tanchuma that we did already a few times this year. In the past years, I mean. The Midrash Tanchuma says, in Bakstet, letter Chet, Eretz Yisrael is called Eretz Chemda, the desired land, because the 5 Avos HaOlam desired Eretz Yisrael. Who are the 5? The 3 Avos, Moshe and David. How do you know that Avram desired Eretz Yisrael? Because he said, how do you know that Yaakov desired Eretz Yisrael? Because Yaakov Avinu said, V'shavti b'shalom beis avi. How do you know Moshe desired Eretz Yisrael? He begged, V'eschalon Hashem, let me go to Eretz Yisrael. How do you know David desired Eretz Yisrael? He quotes a pasuk. How do you know that Yitzchak desired Eretz Yisrael? Look what's underlined. The Medrash itself underlined it. Look. Yitzchak Nisavala, the second line. You see it's underlined, the word Shenemalo? He was told, how does the children of Yitzchak love Eretz Yisrael? That's what Hashem told him. But who said he was happy to hear it? The other 4 you bring a right from what they said. Yitzchak, you bring a right from what he was told? How does that show what Yitzchak felt? A Pasha Kasha on the Medrash. Ne'marlo? Whatever you tell your kids, they're automatically Mikabel? And they love it? No. Not always. To be honest, would you agree? I'm sure they understand that we want their best, but they love it? No. Right? So what's up shot that the Medrash is bringing a raya from Yitzchak that he loves Eretz Yisrael because Hashem told him to live here? What's the only answer, Rabbi say?
He's with Hashem, there's no him. So it's
By Yitzchak, you can prove of what Hashem tells him. Because Yitzchak is the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, Batel Ritzoincha Mipnei Ritzoinah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's what you want? Fine. That's it. That's the only thing that counts. So again, if the CNN reporter would have asked Yitzchak, Yitzchak Avinu, how did you feel when HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you, Kur Baruch Zazot? Oh, that's what Hashem wants. No, my question is, but how did you feel? What did you feel when Hashem told you that? Yitzchak would say, it's not the 2 of us, it's only him. And if he wants it, that's it. We're not two. It's one. Him, and I'm about to myself to him. That's the avos of Yitzchak. Right? Okay, Chavre. Yitzchak is the one who was circumcised in 8 days. What does that mean? What does it mean that we're circumcised when we're 8 days old? That's really what Yishmael is asking. What does it mean? So, boy, side, we spoke about that there's an Eved and Oived. What does that mean? To be and to do. This exists in many areas in the Torah. Tefillin Shel Yad and Tefillin Shel Rosh. For example, what does Tefillin Shel Yad represent? Do. What does Tefillin Shel Rosh represent? Be. Bring me a raya. What's the bracha you said Tefillin Shel Yad? Lohoniach. What's the bracha you said Tefillin Shel Rosh? Al mitzvahs. There's no verb. It goes back to the Torah. The Torah said, "Ukshartem la'ois al yodecha, tayet v'hayu l'totofois berenecha." It should be there. Obviously, how did you get there? You put it there, but the mitzvah is not to put. The mitzvah is to have it. I told you, the Rogatchover Paskins halacha. If someone put a tefillin way too early, before Alois, the windows were closed. And he's with the tefillin now for the last 3-4 hours. And then someone asks him, already after nets, after everything, when did you put on the tefillin? 5 o'clock in the morning. That was before Alois. So you know what he has to do? He has to unwrap the tefillin shel yad and wrap him again. And tefillin shel rosh, he doesn't have to do anything.
That's what the Sfardim don't say about
No, that's a different din. We don't say bracha is a different reason. I don't say bracha either like the guy. Look at sure. It's a different din. It may be related to it, but it's a different din. Okay? Okay, Rabbi say. You know what, Rabbi said, let's speak again Yeshivish tonight. Tonight we're speaking Yeshivish. What's the mitzvah in Milah? To do or to be?
No, hang on. The Merle does it, but you aren't.
No, he's my shliach.
Okay.
What is the... You want to be mamish Yeshivish? Is the mitzvah to be mal or to be mahul? Rabbi say, you got to bring a right to what you say. Where you Yeshiva bring me a riot. And not a Yeshiva is that, well, I really think it's both. It depends which day of the week. You know, I need meat. I want to know what's the mitzvah. To mal or to be mahul?
Why not both?
Prove it.
Two brachas.
The brachas is on that? It's corresponding to that? No. Rabbi said this is an old yeshiva shared. The Beis Halevi in Parshas Lech Lecha brings a whole bias to both, and he says, you know, I'll give you an example. Give a look at Bakshid Beis. The Gemara Menachos. B'sha'ah shenichnas David leBeis Hamechatz, when David HaMelech entered the bathhouse, v'ra atzmo omed arum, and his side was out closed. Amar oily, terrible. She'emod arum below mitzvah. I can't be engaged in mitzvahs. V'kivan sheniska b'mila sheb'b'sarai nisi ashvedaito. That's the Gemara. Now, Rabbi says the Steipler in Bakshid Gimel. There's a famous question. The Gemara learns from a pasuk that a mother does not have to circumcise her son. Asks says anyway, it's a mitzvah as the Shazman Grama. So who needs a pasuk? Right above us, the Tosfos. Look what the Stapler answers the name of the Marit. Lama nikra limut yinoshim mimila hahava mitzvah zesa shazman grama kivan sheino b'layla. You can't do it at night. You can't do it. So of course the woman's putter. Why do we need a pasuk for it? It's Tosfos kasha. V'hamarit b'chidusham l'kidushim tiretz. Mishum the mitzvah mila hi mitzvah nimsheches shemekayma kol yamav b'zeh shu mol. It's an ongoing mitzvah, day and night.
You're saying it's not as Mangron, is it?
1 second. That's what he's saying. Unehi the mitzvah ma'aseh mila ino el bayom. Yes, the act of mila is only in the day. Aval mashu hu mohul miskayim todir. What does todir mean? Continuously. Bayom u'balayla. V'lo daven etzitzis. Whatever it means. V'svara zu katav ma'arach or zarua b'tshuva siman yud aleph. The mila ika mitzvah sheyeh mohul. V'hi mitzvah nimsheches kol yemei chayav. The Raya is מה שאמרו חז"ל דוד המלך what Baruch just now said, כשהיה במרחץ מצטער שהוא ארום בלא מצווס, וכיוון שנזכר למילה סומך, והיא סלקא דייתך, דאינה מצווה אלא במעשה המילה, if it's only the act of doing, which was done when he was 8 days old, אם כן עכשיו אין לו בה שום מצווה, so what is he happy now? The mitzvah is over. ואם משום שכבר נעשה בגוף המצווה מילה, because he did it once, למה לא סמך על ראשו שכבר הניח עליו תפילין בימים ימימה? What, you're happy with the mitzvahs that you done till today? So all the mitzvahs. I put on tefillin, it's a mitzvah. Why dafka mila? So the only pshat in the Gemara Menachos means, why was David HaMelech happy with the mitzvah of mila? It's now. What does it mean it's now? So there's two mitzvahs. We're going with what David said. There's a mitzvah to do, the Maaseh of the Milah, and then there's halachas in the day and at the night, Yom HaShmini, etc. But the Ikar mitzvah is to be circumcised for life. Especially the way the Maharal explained Milah. What do you think it is? To be the Maaseh Milah or to be Mohel? You remember what the Maharal call it? What's the Milah? A seal of an Eved. Chosim Avdus. So what's the Maharal referring to? Mohel. Meaning, let's define like this. Every milah that we do today, it has both elements. There's an element of doing. The moil has to come on the 8th day, and only if it's a milah bismana, you can do it on Shabbos. If it's a bespon milah, you cannot do it on Shabbos. There are all kinds of halachas regarding the act. But there's a mitzvah also to be mohel. That happens on every milah, both. But the milah of Mitzrayim was only mohel. Tell me why. Tell me why. There, it's not because every milah today. When's the last time we did a bris milah, Ari, to your son? 4 years ago. So it's still fresh in your memory. Nachon? 4 years ago. So you had a mile that did the job, or you did it yourself? A mile, fine. You did a mile yourself. So what happened there? I'll tell you what happened. It was a big simcha, Baruch Hashem, and there was a Maaseh Milah, and the kid is mohel. That's what happens in every bris. The one in Mitzrayim was only just to be mohel. First of all, that's what the Maharal says. It was for that night needed to add, to give the seal that's needed. The seal doesn't come from the Maaseh. The seal comes from the Tetzah. B. Second of all the doing part was in the Korban Pesach that night. Right? And the doing part was Korban Pesach. Remember? The Oived part's Korban Pesach. So what does the Milah represent?
The mohel.
Only mohel.
So that's why that's the tariff.
Therefore, it could be at night also. Because what did the Marit say? The mohel part goes the whole time.
Yeah.
Day and night.
So that's what the Torah doesn't need to mention.
Well, one second, in a minute. One second, we'll come to that part in a minute. Regarding the question, so can you do a Milah at night? Yeah. How you can't? If that Milah you could. Because what did the Maharit say to answer Tesis Kasha? The mitzvah of mohel goes in day and night also. If the whole Milah is just to be mohel, you can do it at night. Just usually the whole Milah is both. The Beis Halevi Rabbi said, if you want to look it up, he has rayas left, right, and center that it's both, and he wants to bring out that the priya is the Maaseh, and removing the foreskin is the mohel. That's what he goes through it. There's a surmira, there's a setop, gewaldig. In the Parshas Lech Lecha, a very, very known Beis Halevi. What I just want to bring out is, in light of what the Maharal said, that night, the milah that the Jewish people performed on that night, again, which nobody knows about, but it happened, it was done just for the mohel part. Because why was it done, said the Maharal? To be the Eved. Why in milah there's an Eved? What's the Avdus in milah? He said it's a seal of Chosim Avdus. What does this seal mean? That you're mohel.
Forever.
What? Forever. Forever. Absolutely. So Mimela Rabbi say, when a milah is only done for the mohel part, it's day and night are equal. That's what the Maharit explained. That's like Hamatzah called Mitzvah Says Shazman Grama. David HaMelech, when he took a shower, it could be he took it at night. It doesn't say in the Gemara he took it only at daytime. You know, people take a shower at day, at night. It depends what they were involved in. You know, David HaMelech, whenever he was in the shower place, he was samech to being mohel. When? Day or night? When did he take showers? I don't know. When do you take showers? I don't know. Sometimes the days. Richard, when do you take showers? The day or night? Morning. Oh, always in the morning. Maybe before the shear, take one also. You'll see. I'll wake you up. What are you talking? It's an eitzah, right? I take it once a month whether I need it or not. That's the joke that goes on. Anyway, Rabbi said, so that milah could be only done at night because when it's only moldik, that the Marit said is also at night. Now let's see if we can answer how come the Torah did not mention this part. How come it's not mentioned in the Torah? I'm sorry, Rabbi Say. Before we go back to this, let's go back to the conversation of Yitzchak and Ishmael. What really went on in that conversation? The way it seems to us, it's like a childish fight. It sounds like Yishmael saying, I did a milah, which is more significant than you. Yeah, but I'm willing to do that, Kate. Tano b'chiti modelo b'soyim. He spoke about milah, he's answering Akeda. You know what Yitzchak's telling him? By you, milah is in the parsha of doing. By us, milah is in the parsha of being. If it's being, it's done to us. That's what it means. All our being is done to us. Your height, your he and hair, it's all the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu made you. Sorry. What Yitzchak is telling Yishmael, you're trying to impress him with one limb. When it's in the doing part, you did it with one limb. By us, it's our whole existence. It's being. Being is never one limb. Being. Doing is I did it with this. I did like this. I did like this. But being is the whole Torah. By us, Bris Milah is not in the realm of Oived. By us, Bris Milah is the realm of Eved.
And I'll go for Yitzchak because he's his pat.
What?
I'll go for Yitzchak because he's his pat.
He's his batlus. And then he says, it's our whole essence, and the Akeda will just prove it. You know what Yitzchak's really telling him? Every Bris Milah is a mini Akeda. That's really what he's telling him. It's not stop, two different things. By you, Bris Milah is the act of doing. You did one thing right. With one limb, it's limited, it's local, it's boxed in. By us, Milah is not doing, it's being, it's our whole essence. We are Avdei Hashem. We give ourselves over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When a baby's, that's like if it's done dafka when he's 8 days old, meaning as not even a child, younger than a child, a newborn. Meaning it's part of our creation, it's part of what we are. What we are is someone else did it. Whatever you are, someone else did it. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Va'al brischa shechasamto b'psareno. You signed it in us. It's not even our doing. It's not our doing. It's our being. And who made our being? Let's say you're all Jews. That's a being. Your mothers are Jewish. You're all Jewish. Fine. Who made you Jewish? Well, that's what you are. So who made it? Hashem. How come you don't have free will to decide I don't want to be Jewish? You have free will on whatever you do. How come you don't have free will on this? Why can't I say I don't want to be a Jew?
Not free will to be alone.
What?
Not free will to be alone.
So what does that mean? Let's define it. I have free will on what I do. I don't have free will on what I am. I would love to be 6'4" and play in the NBA and make a lot more money than I make in Hasbro. I would love to. But not as well. If I did a certain exercise at a certain age, I'd be maybe another inch, 2. That's it. I have free will on what I do. I don't have free will on what I am. You know how come I don't have free will on what I am? Because I don't have free will on others. Kavachom, if that others is called Hashem. Reuben doesn't have free will on Shimon. So Reuben doesn't have free will on Kodesh Baruch Hu. Whatever you are is what Hashem decided. You can't change what he decided.
But you can affect the other people.
That's your doing.
That's what doing.
The doing part you can affect. What Yitzchak is telling Yishmael, Gavaldik, I love this. By us, Milah is a different taich. It's not in the department of doing, it's in the department of being, which is our whole essence, not just one limb. It's our whole essence. It's a chosem avdus. And if a Kodesh Baruch Hu will ask me to offer my whole stuff, I will do it as well. Mila is a mini Akedah. That's what really comes out here. That night when Am Yisrael did the Mila, even though every Mila has an element of deed as well, it has to be on the 8th day, it has to be by Yom, it has to be, but when it's only being, it can be also at night. So how come the Torah didn't mention it? Let's wrap it up. So how come this part the Torah didn't mention?
That's what the meal itself was being.
So what would you say? Let's define it. It's not the Maisa Mila. What should the Torah mention? The Maisa, it's not that. That's not the Nekuda this night. It's the result what came out.
You could have said they were males on that night.
But that's not the point. The point is that they became Mohol. I don't know if you can mention that. They became Mohol. It still has to be defined. Rabbi, so let me show you how the Maral Gvur says this idea, which fits even a little bit more. What the Bris Mila and the Korban Pesach show. Give a look to the Maxi Dalet. Lakach nosnem shtei mitzvot elu, dam Pesach v'dam Mila. Vihi hasar sa'orla. The Mila is to remove the foreskin. Shehu pchisus gnus v'adam. It's something derogatory about a person. The ain't davar gnut u'pchitut k'mo ha'orla. Ha'orla is like an obstacle. Hamavdir ben Hashem is ben Adam. V'achar she'yisir pchisus gnut shelo, az yavod lo bevadai. Once you remove the derogatory part, then you could be an Eved Hashem. V'zeh dam Pesach, she'Pesach hu avdos yizbach. אבל שיהיה אויבד עם פחיסוס וגנוס שעדיין בו, אין זה אבוידה. Meaning, according to this Maral, what does it come out? What did the Mila accomplish? The Gerari said Eved. What does this Maral say? Sur Mirav Asetov. What this Mila accomplish? Rabbi said, the Sur Mirav, removing removing the barriers and the obstacles between you and Hashem.
The foreskin.
What?
Foreskin. The foreskin.
The what?
Foreskin is the removal.
Yeah. The foreskin's removed, the olah is removed, and that's a bear. So again, I'll give you a mashal, just to bring out this Nakuda. If you have a daughter or a granddaughter in Shidduchim and I come offer you a shidduch, I say, great guy. Well, me this year is Shomayim Tamid Chacham with it. Sensitive. Gewalt. How much what are you looking for? There's just one problem. There's a little bit of a health issue. Oh yeah, what is it? You know, young people have 120 over 80. He has 12,000 over 8,000. He made it to the Guinness Book. He's a walking bomb. We all wish him the best, but any second could explode to pieces. Would you be interested in such a shidduch for your daughter or granddaughter? You would wish him all the best, but no, you'd say, I'm sorry, listen, give me his name, I'll daven for him, 100%. But not that, there's a real issue here, I'm sorry. Midach Yisa, if I'm going to offer you on someone that has alamalis and he has blood pressure 120 over 80, good for the Jews, right? And then someone's going to ask you, what's the minus of your new chassan? Great blood pressure. Did you ever hear anybody say that? My new chassan, cholesterol, v'diyuk. He's very, very healthy. Did you ever hear anybody say that? That the mila of the spouse or the chassan of the kala is they're very healthy. Hashem yirachem, if that's what they have to say. That means there's nothing else what to say. Meaning a lack of health is the reason to say no, but health is never the reason to say yes. That's a mitzvah. The bris milah is removing and enabling the thing to work. That's what I'm saying in Gvuras. There's no need to mention that he's healthy.
Why are you creating the barrier then?
We're born like that. Why? That's another question.
I
The Torah Surface asked the question that Rabbi Kiva. Why did Kodesh Baruch Hu make it with foreskins? To give you the schar, whatever. That's another question.
don't think it's a state of being, not a state of doing. You are born.
We are born with a foreskin, and our job is that others should remove it from us, not us. When you're a little tiny baby.
No, shliach, but the point is
No, not shliach for the father, not for the baby.
the baby. No.
It's not shliach for the baby. The baby can't make a shliach either. Right? It's done to you. Rabbi say, so on this night, the identity of Judaism was forged. what it means to be a Yid, and it's through Korban Pesach and Bris Milah. And the active one, the thing that the doing part is Korban Pesach, the being part is Milah, and being it's not mentioned sometimes, and it still has to be defined a little bit more. But that's what we want to speak about today. I want to wish everybody, on the behalf of, we didn't answer how does the 4 days. Again, that still has. I thought you would remember. That still has to be explained. But on the behalf of the YouTube society in the world, we want to wish everybody a meaningful week. And Be'ez Hashem, I say, speak it out in Parshas Bo. You can speak it about Lil Shabbos. Bring out these nekudas. We did a Milah this night. What role does the Milah play? What role does the Korban Pesach play? Do it on Lil Shabbos. Don't do it on Lil Seder because role is chametz. That's a corny joke. Okay, but Rabbi Be'emes, what happened this night, every ounce of it is a root of who we are. There's not one element on this night which is not a shorish. That's really what it comes out. Okay, Chavah, we want to wish before Shlema to Yitzchak. You know, Yitzchak got hit today by a bicycle. Take it a matana. A matana. You don't like matanas? Shalom, shalom.